With a good perspective of history, we can have a better understanding of the past and present and thus a clear vision of the future. Entrepreneur Carlos Slim, born on January 28, 1940, in Mexico City. Of Lebanese descent, Carlos Slim attended the University UNAM to become a civil engineer. While attending university, he was a professor at the university in algebra and linear programming. Later on, in 1965, Carlos Slim established Grupo Carso, which was the abbreviation for his a year later to be wife and his name Somoya Domit and Carlos Slim. Grupo Carso began to buy stocks of companies that were low performing and creating them into a high performing companies. With this, Carlos Slim started building his empire. His biggest company is Telmex, worth $11 billion all across Mexico. This is only in Mexico. He also has Telcel, which is the cellular carrier that is most dominant in Mexico. And he has Grupo Telecom, which relates to cell phones and internet use. His other big company is American Mobile, worth $25 billion, and this attributes to his wealth. He is the ultimate goal of Grupo Carso was to create a company that would buy other companies that were for construction, hotels, materials for construction, residential. So he focused on a great variety of companies. Some companies he owns stocks in are Sears, Sambers, which is a retail store for Mexico, and the New York Times. And for the New York Times, he invested 250 $1 million. This all combines into his wealth, which is valued at $74 billion. And he does not think of himself as an investor. He thinks himself as a company operator. Half of his fortune is not only just for investing and also, but he carries on the legacy of his wife, which was a clear believer that Mexico should progress. She established the foundation Mexico for a social progression, and he still continues on her legacy that way by paying those nonprofit organizations to keep working with the low class people. Not only Carlos Slim changed the way Mexico is and the way Mexico is viewed by the world economically, because he's the richest man in the world and Mexico is a third world country, which means that there's something going on deeper than what is seen by the eye. But Carlos Slim, he changed the way companies envision themselves in Mexico and around the world, and especially in Latin America. He showed how you could take a simple concept of a low performing company and expand it and make it a billion $1 billion company, and how it it did not take much for him to grow an empire. It just took this right strategic move and the correct timing. For example, like Telmex and Texel, he increased the prices once he bought the company, but this was because he added internet, better phone lines, better posting. So what he did was take a simple concept and improve it, which took money, but yet again the people were actually paying for what it was worth. And Carlos Slim has made a fortune, and he will continue to make a fortune, but it's all based on the moves that he makes and how he handles taking one company and making it into another, or how he trades his companies. Because it's not only just making money to him, it's more like envisioning a project that will last a lifetime for him. He's 70 at this point, but he has 6 children that at this point will continue on his legacy about how to improve companies and make them better. This is Carlos Slim, and he's the richest man in the world.